Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wine and Wellness Wednesday. I'm Lindsay Brantley. I'm the founder of Camellia Alise and the Camellia Alise Academy, and I'm really excited to be here with you guys today. So, for those of you guys who don't know, I took a 2-week break. I was here a couple weeks ago, and I let you guys know that my mother passed away, and so I needed to take 2 weeks to kind of get myself together and get the whole situation together, and now I am back. And so I wanted to talk to you guys today about a really important topic. Now, I know that I have talked to you guys before about building your team and the importance of building your team, but now more than ever, as things have happened the way that they did so unexpectedly, I really and truly saw how important it was to have a team in place. So I want to talk to you guys about the importance of building your team. Your business should never be a one-person business, okay? Even if, we're first getting started, when you first get started, let's say that we're in body sculpting and, you want to get out there, you want to service clients. That is great. And yes, you should start that way and then gradually build your business up, right? Because you may not have a lot of money for overhead and everything else in the beginning, and that's okay. But eventually, you are going to need to grow your team. What happens if you get to a place where you're seeing 8 clients a day, your books are just filled, and you break your arm and you can't take care of anyone? And not only can you not take care of anyone, but you can't call anybody to tell them that you can't take care of them or reschedule their appointments, right? That kind of stuff happens all the time. For me, losing my mom was very traumatic. I wasn't expecting it. My mom was one of my biggest supporters, one of my best friends. So not having her here is a lot. It's painful. And there were days when I just didn't want to get up, didn't want to get out of bed, I wasn't motivated. But never, not once, did I worry that if I didn't show up that day, that my staff wouldn't take care of things and that things would run amok and I would be out of business because I needed to take a 1-day break, okay? So, and in the midst of this, because this is how crazy things are, I have a small staff. I don't have a lot of staff members, but in the middle of it, one of our staff members also got sick. So it's like you already have a team, and I'm the person that typically teaches some of the classes. I have other staff members that teach classes, but now it's like I'm having a hard time, and then I got one other staff member out. So we're having to constantly move things around, and then I'm praying. I'm like, oh Lord, the staff members that are left, please don't leave me because you're working harder than you typically do. Like it was crazy. It has been a crazy 2 weeks. But I wanted to talk to you guys about some of the reasons that your business can fail if you do not grow your team, okay? And like I said before, at the end of the day, we are all humans. So if we are out there, sculpting people, we own a spa business, and, your job is your hands. It's to service people, and you break your arm, then what happens? You should always have someone there or some kind of backup plan. Even if it's a virtual assistant, you have somebody that is your virtual assistant that's calling and telling, all your clients, hi, I need to reschedule you for 2 weeks out, or hey, I need to do this or I need to do that. There should always be a backup plan. There should always be a contingency. In the beginning, when you are starting off, and I tell my students this all day, every day, you have to think bigger than yourself. I was in my kitchen making skincare products and calling manufacturers at the same time thinking, how can I get somebody to recreate this product that I finally figured out how to do right so that I can get it into retail stores? You have to think bigger. If you are at a place where you're like, okay, I love body sculpting, but you want to get to a place where you're going to have 20, 30 clients a day, you can't service all 20 or 30 a day. So you're probably going to need to train somebody else. What happens is if you don't plan for the growth, eventually your revenue is going to be stagnant. You're going to stay exactly where you are, or one disaster could simply put you out of business. So what I'm just saying to you guys is you need to plan to grow your team and plan for things to be bigger than they are right now, so that when those things happen, it's not a shock to your system and it's not a shock to your business, because you should want growth, right? So some of the reasons that your business could potentially fail if you don't grow your team are the following. One is your revenue, like I said, can be stagnant. If you are doing the same old thing, you're never breathing life into your business, you're constantly running back and forth, I'm servicing someone, but you're never coming up with anything new, your revenue is eventually going to be stagnant, because the lady down the street who also does the services is doing the services, maybe not as good as you, but she's adding on other things that your clients are asking for and they're interested in as well. So you have to have the ability to grow via other people or other skills in order to continue keeping your business growing and keeping your revenue growing. If you just think, hey, I'm just going to do this one service for the rest of my life, eventually, like I have a lady that she makes more than 6 figures doing waxing. I mean, that's perfectly great, and she creates this amazing experience, but she also ventures out and, may teach, or she may, add 1 or 2 bonus things in order to continue keeping the revenue growing. So don't be stagnant, and in order to truly grow, you're probably going to have someone else there. Another reason that your business may fail if you don't grow is your experienced workers continuing to do menial tasks eventually will burn them out, right? That's why I said sometimes it's good to just have a virtual assistant that can send out 10 emails a day, all the things that you do over and over and over again, someone that can send those things out, so that you and, the person who's on your team or the person that you're trying to teach how to do services doesn't also have to stop and do emails 10 times a day or answer the phone 10 times a day. It's extremely hard. Like I was saying, we have one person down. So we have one person that's trying to do services, trying to answer phones, trying to take care of everybody at the same time. And it is extremely hard. So those are indications that, okay, you need to grow your team. It's time to start looking at, hiring someone else, whether they're bringing in a specific skill or whether it's a virtual assistant to answer phones or do emails. You have to look at, okay, where are we lacking here? And if my number one salesperson is spending all day just answering basic calls, they're not doing the thing that they're called to do. So how can I change that? Or how can I add someone to the team so that she doesn't have to do this part, but she can do what she's truly called to do, and that's sell. So that's definitely a reason that your business can fail. Okay, so I wanted to talk about that. And then another thing is when you are, give me a couple seconds because I looked up a couple things. When you are frustrated or your team is frustrated because you're so busy, customer service is going to suffer as well. You may need to have someone, like I said, that's just there to greet people, get them in, get them checked in while you're servicing people in the back, right? If it's your job to do every single part and you start to get tired, your clients will see that. Customer service will start to suffer. If you are taking so many calls a day, and I'm guilty of this, I will tell you, I at this point don't like answering the phones. And there was a couple days ago where literally there were 30 calls in a row. And it's not person A's fault that person B, or person B's fault that person A just called and asked the exact same question. They don't know each other. So you can't really get frustrated at the 2 people that are calling when they're both asking, oh, well, how much is this and how much is that? You were like, well, I just answered this question for her. Why do I have to answer it again? Because they're completely different people. But customer service will eventually start to suffer if you are so stretched and your people are so stretched that you're not able to really give your best self. So if you are seeing that you are truly like having issues with customer service, you might need to get, like I said, I love virtual assistants, but you might need to get another receptionist or someone else who all they do is answer the phones, and they love talking to people, and they're happy doing that all day long. So that might be, a different position for you. Also, certain skills. If you know that you or one of your staff members is perfect for servicing clients all day long, that's what they do, but you also have a retail arm, and every time you try to fulfill an order, that person mixes up the orders, they put the wrong mailing label on something. Like, this person is great with customer service, but they're not great with fulfillment. Then you have just identified something else that you need to grow in. We literally have a fulfillment manager whose job is to get packages out, get packages packed. If there's stuff we need from storage to the spot, he does that. Heavy lifting stuff. It's most of us are women, right? But you gotta have somebody that can do heavy lifting. We have a fulfillment manager. So you kind of have to look at, okay, what are those things that I really need help with in my business? And you may not know them in the beginning, because in the beginning you're just trying to figure it out. You're trying to work with your clients. Hell, it might be marketing, right? It may be that you do great service for the people who walk in the door. They always want to buy more. But if you don't have a lot of people walking in the door, you might need help with marketing. Or if you know that you hate social media, but you can service the best, then you might need help with social media. So you need to identify certain things that you yourself are not good at, and get help. There are resources out there, places like Fiverr, Fiverr.com. There are places like Upwork. There are a lot of places where you can get an international virtual assistant, or get someone to help you with social media, all kinds of team members virtually, but you have to be open to the possibility that, hey, I can't do it all. I need to grow my team strategically, so let me look and see what those needs are and what the things are that I truly need to do to grow my business. Like I said, it's an inspired message, because no one expects to lose their mom. No one expects to lose, a child or a spouse or whatever. You don't expect it, but these things happen. And when they happen, if you're on a day where you literally cannot get out of bed and you have 10 clients on the books, what are you going to do? Is that going to make or break your business? Or do you have a backup plan, somebody that can at least call your clients and say, so-and-so isn't feeling well today. We really need to go ahead and reschedule you. Is it okay? We'll give you a 10% discount on your next service for the inconvenience. Okay. Last night, as a matter of fact, I went to one of my favorite restaurants, the Steak 48. I told this story to someone else. Steak 48 here in Houston has some of the best customer service, hands down. I don't care if you love the steak or not, but I'm gonna tell you, their customer service is absolutely amazing. And so I'm going to give you guys this example, and hopefully this is something that you can incorporate in your business. Okay. So went to eat, typical meal, steaks and sides, and their shared sides, right? So we ordered one side, which was, I believe, spinach, right? They brought out to the table asparagus. Not a big deal. I just told them, hey, this isn't what we ordered. We ordered something different. Right away, they were apologetic. They said, we are so sorry. We will get the right thing out to you. Okay, fine. 5 minutes later, a manager comes to my table and says, your spinach is on the way. We apologize for the mix-up, but we're about to give you, we're going to give you that side on the table, on the house, and we're going to throw in a dessert. I wasn't even that upset, right? It was just, something simple, you change it. But they instantly took care of the problem. I didn't have to ask for a manager. I didn't have to say, hey, you made a mistake. Why is no one fixing this? I didn't have to do any of that. They automatically, their customer service was such that they were like, hey, we made a mistake. Let's fix it right now. We're going to take care of this. We're going to make sure this customer is happy. And they call you the next day. The restaurant calls you the next day to say, hey, how was your experience? We hope that everything is okay. How many of you guys follow up with your client the next day? This is something, if you're not doing it now, and we need to get better, and we do follow up via email, but we don't always call. Do you know how many opportunities you are missing if you call your clients 2 or 3 days later, especially in body sculpting, Okay, in body sculpting, your body, you're going to burn that fat for up to 72 hours. So if you call your client 2-3 days later, you probably be getting all kinds of praises. They'll send you pictures because what they saw that day of, it looks better now. How many of you guys are missing that opportunity for a good review or better pictures because you're not following up with your clients, right? Or maybe your client came in for a facial 2-3 months ago. Maybe you need to call them and remind them that they need to come back and, hey, you're supposed to get monthly maintenance, everything good, or how was your experience yesterday? If you didn't like the peel burned, I apologize for that. Next time you come in, we're going to give you a 10% discount. We're going to try something different. Whatever. Customer service has to be on point. And if for some reason, one reason or another, your customer service is not on point, you will lose clientele. And if you don't have things in place, checks and balances, and you're just a one-person team and you're not thinking beyond it, all it could take is a broken leg, a broken foot, losing a family member unexpectedly, and you can't get out of bed, and now you're out of business because your clients are like, oh, she's unreliable. That kind of stuff happens all day, every day. So I just say all that to say, you guys really need to think about strategically growing your teams and figuring out what it is that you need that you don't have, or where are you trying to go, so that you can plan for that phase and say, okay, well, I know that I want to take more clients. I'm going to do all the services for now, but maybe I should get a virtual assistant or a receptionist to help with some of the customer service. Or I'm great at services, but maybe I need to get somebody to help with marketing and social media. So there are a lot of resources out there that can help you with those things so that you can grow your team. But you have to take time to think about those things in order to figure out what's going to work best for you. You do not become $1 million business by doing it all by yourself. It doesn't happen. It really and truly doesn't. So you have to think about strategically growing your team in order to continue getting where you need to go, and also to keep your revenue growing. Because if it's all dependent on you and something happens, you can instantly go from being here all the way down here. I would even challenge you by saying like $100,000 business doesn't happen on its own either, because it does eventually take you having somebody to help you or a system to help you, following up, sending emails, getting deposits. It's going to take more than just you by yourself managing all those things once money really and truly starts to come in. So I hope that, this kind of helped you guys out a little bit. Think about strategically growing your team, and we're going to get back on this thing. This is my first week back. Y'all bear with me. On the Academy, on the skincare page, I just talked about self-care while grieving. I'm definitely still in a very emotional place, so y'all forgive me. I know I'm not my normal, just happy, bubbly self, but we'll eventually get back there. But I'm going to continue dropping tips on you guys and helping you to build your businesses to success. And if there's any topic that you guys want us to cover, please let me know. I will be here every Wednesday ready to, answer those questions and helping you guys to grow. That's my number one goal, is to help those around me to be successful. Now, once again, I tell you guys all the time, I'm not going to certify you to do laser liposuction via YouTube. There's certain things that I'm not going to answer specifically when it comes to services and safety and stuff. You do need a class for that. But for the most part, when it comes to business, I'm an open book. I'll tell you the mistakes I've made, the victories I've made, and I will continue answering those questions so that you guys can build your business to the next level. So thank you guys once again so much for joining me. And then I don't know if I said it in the beginning, but I do want to thank you guys so much for the kind words, for the flowers, for the messages, all that you guys have been doing over the past 2 weeks since I lost my mom. I really and truly appreciate each and every one of you. And I also appreciate you guys for your patience. My staff has been going crazy, doing everything that they can in my absence. I am back, and they are doing well, thank God. But just thank you guys for your patience during this very traumatic and very hard time. But I really and truly appreciate each and every one of you guys, and I'm excited to continue dropping knowledge on you guys in the next few weeks. So I will see you guys next Wednesday. And until then, look, I got a glass full, y'all. Until then, I want to toast to each and every one of you for making it through hump day. And I hope that you guys have an amazing, amazing couple days to finish out the week. Thanks, and y'all have a wonderful Wednesday.